So today's my last day in Bangkok. Just kind of going to do a video about some thoughts that I've had since I've been here. And I have to say, man, this has probably been, if it's not my best trip, it's my second best trip. Like, absolutely, first or second best trip. But one of the things that, and I'm sorry for the noise because I'm at a restaurant, there's a lot of cars driving by. One of the things that I noticed is I wish I would have started traveling in my 20s. And I think at this point, it's like one of my biggest regrets, man. And I'm not like big on regrets, you know, I lived my life, I did what I did, but in my 20s, I spent a lot of money on like going to the clubs, buying clothes, dating women that I had no business dating.
Coffee unique for us?
Yes. Oh, no, for a cola? No, this is fine. Thank you. So, yeah, dating women that I have absolutely no business, like, dating in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some, like, good women that I met in my 20s or whatever, but I wasn't ready to settle down. Like, I had just moved to Atlanta, too, and, like, Atlanta in the 2000s was just, it was great, but I blew so much money, like, going out on stupid, like, frivolous dates, and, you know, just trying to live that life. And to me, like I said, I appreciate the experience, but I wish I would have spent that time traveling. Like, I wish I would have gone to Brazil in my 20s, gone to, you know, Dominican Republic in my 20s, Thailand in my 20s, like toured through Europe in my 20s. So, like, a piece of advice, like anybody that's under the age of 30, if you're not married, you don't have any kids, or even if you do have a kid and you're responsible and you're saving and you're providing, you're taking care of your child, take your money and stop buying clothes, stop buying shoes, stop wasting time on going to like the club, stop wasting time trying to impress people in like the United States. Like, I don't know how it is in like your, you know, your 20s if you're in Europe or whatnot, but like as far as Western culture, as far as the United States goes, man, stop doing it. Instead of buying Jordans and waiting on like the next pair of like Yeezys to come out, take that money and buy a flight. And then instead of like, you know, going to the club, we're trying to get down to like Miami or like Vegas for like Labor Day weekend, go to another city outside of the country, because I guarantee you that it's going to open up your mind to so much other stuff. You're going to see so much stuff, and it's going to make you not want to come back to the States. If you're a man, like you guys already know or have heard about passport bros, and to be honest with you, man, it's like that's not a movement that just started. Like, I remember like my uncle and my cousin telling me about like women that they met when they were overseas. I mean, my best friend from high school would tell me all the time about the women that he saw in Barcelona. And it's a completely different experience once you're here, and how you go about, you know, approaching, and like the level of interest, and like there's mutual energy and vibe when two people are actually interested in each other, and there's no guessing game. Like there's there's no guessing game to it. Like if they're interested, you're going to know they're interested. If you approach them and like they're not interested in you, then guess what? I mean, they're going to be nice about it. There's not going to be any like looks of like, what the hell are you doing talking to me type thing, or like, I'm too busy with my phone right now to even acknowledge your existence as a human being. There's none of that. There's none of that. And like I said, that movement has not been going on. Like, that's not a new movement, man. Like, people have been doing that as long as guys been going in the military. Like, you always hear about dudes that were in the Navy whenever they hit, like, you know, a new port and they're going in. And I know one thing that I noticed about here in Thailand, I'm not gonna lie, like, at least in Bangkok, I haven't been to Pattaya yet, or Pattaya, but I can tell you, at least in Bangkok, I don't see a lot of dudes that look like me with the women. It's everybody else. It's Indians, it's other Asians, it's like hella Europeans and Australians, and like they're the main ones here going or like dating and like going out with like the women here. Like, I talked to one guy, he was from Australia. He said he's been here 10 years. He said he moved here. He said first time he visited, it was like 11 years ago. He waited a year and then he packed his bags and moved. He said 6 months after he moved, he was already engaged. And then he got married. And he's been married ever since to his Thai wife. Your experience traveling will give you more experience than just staying in the United States and only knowing that side of it. I know there's gonna be some hate most likely behind this video. I don't know, and I don't really care, because I mean, it's my opinion and it is what it is. Like, when I travel, for the most part, I travel because I like history, I like the culture, I like good food, and then, you know, I always try to do something like, you know, adrenaline wise, but I also like interacting with people when I travel. And you just get to talking to different people here, and like their experiences are so different from everybody I know in the United States that either travel once a year, maybe twice a year, but they don't go that far home. Like, they don't go that far away from home. Like, they really only hit up like Mexico or the Caribbean. Like, you really need to like get out of Western culture and like hit up some countries in Africa, hit up countries in South America, hit up countries in Asia. And this is my first time in Asia, so I really, outside of watching like videos, I had no idea what to expect. But I think if you're under the age of 30, you absolutely need to travel. You need to hit up South America, Asia, Africa, and then probably do Europe as well if you're under 30. If you're over 30, depending on where you're at in your life, I mean, people got careers, you know, it depends on where you are in your life. I still think you should definitely, you know, travel. I know when you're in your 20s, you're not making as much. As far as guys, we really don't hit our financial prime until, you know, we're probably older than 35, where you can really start doing some things. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you're under 30, even if you got to save your money for just one good trip, save it for the trip and go. Even if it's once a year, go. Don't go to the Caribbean. Don't go to Central America. Don't go to Mexico. Go as far as you can and stay for like a week. If you're over 35 and you're doing pretty good, you need to be traveling at least 2 or 3 times a year. At least 2 or 3 times a year. If you're single, you need to figure out where it is, like what culture you like, and who you want to be around. Once you figure that out, then you start traveling there on a regular basis. Now, it's up to you if you want to move or not. Like, everybody can't move. I can't move. My son, he's only 10 years old, so I'm not going nowhere until he's 18. And like, I'm comfortable with how I've raised him, and I don't have anything to worry about. And even then, I will probably end up talking him into trying to either come with me if I decide to move, or at least, depending on what he wants to do, at some point in time, he needs to go overseas and travel on his own and start experiencing everything there is to experience. I mean, I just wanted to get that out there. But I am going to do a video, I think I said it in one of my earlier videos, I am going to do one, and I'm going to compare all four. Brazil, Colombia, and Dominican Republic. I went to all four in the last year. And I did it specifically so I can get an understanding of what the hype was about, and then figure out what I liked, what I didn't like, which one I would, you know, visit again, so on and so forth. So those are my thoughts. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.